Hey yo, how are my people chilling today? The Chico Army, and if you're new around these parts, just a viewer of the tube. If you don't know by now, I'm the host of this channel, Tyler, and if you haven't tried VR virtual reality, this video might make you want to jump right in. Not gonna lie, I have done the exact same thing. It's time for Chico Crypto. Well, it was a wild weekend, wouldn't you say? Bitcoin was about as volatile as a potassium and water mixture. Pulling out the 2-week chart, it was a strong upward push, my friends. BTC basically went from 9K to the peak of 12K in 2 weeks, a 33% increase. But then, like I knew would come, the rug was pulled out Saturday just before midnight. Single candle down from 12K to 11,200. Then by Sunday, early AM, down to 11K. But since we have bounced, and as of shooting this video, we were around 11,300. So the game of gaps, CME are all over the place once again. The upper one, set back in August of 2019, has been filled over the weekend. But as we dip down, it created another one that is higher, between 11,465 and 11,620. And there is still the lower one in the high 9,000s range that everyone is still keeping their eyes on. But besides the gaps and Bitcoin being manipulated over the weekend, Ethereum, it got hit hard, and it got hit harder from none other than a competitor, a tribe that refuses to bend the knee, Binance. So a top post on our cryptocurrency, well, it should have been, but as we can see, only a measly amount of upvotes, as our crypto mods allow Binance to bot manipulate anything bad against them. But as we can see, it says leveraged tokens scam the market again. Check out ETH down on Binance with a picture of a trading chart. And as you can see, it's mass manipulation. But then Larry Cermak, who is earning his stripes back after bending the knee to Binance for a time, tweeted about it. He said, remember all the virtual signaling by CZ, how Binance's leveraged tokens are safer than FTX's and will protect users better. Now look at how ETH short tokens performed on both Binance and FTX during and after the ETH 20% plus crash. The left is the Binance chart with the crazy manipulated prices up and down, while FTX actually looks more natural. So if you aren't in tune with the FTX and Binance baloney, well, let me get you up to speed. Binance and FTX partnered to list their leveraged tokens, and everything seemed all gravy, baby. But then all of a sudden it was announced Binance will be delisting the tokens to protect their users. Then just a tad bit of time goes by and Binance announces they are listing their own versions. They pulled the act like your friend, then copy and paste your product, then boot you to the curb. The way of the Nance. Yes, the 20s insult Nancy, because what they are doing is a bunch of crap. From the Binance chart, it's literally impossible to make money even if you were right, which the community came at Binance hard, pointing out the problems, asking them to fix and more, because it was broken, and Binance was hyping the token as it was launched only a few weeks ago. So the ones who could have only made money through that madness were the ones pulling off the attack themselves. Now I'm not trying to point the finger at Binance, but they are the ones responsible. It's their exchange, and they allowed a coin to be taken over and manipulated to pieces. Luckily, Binance did respond and took the blame, I guess. They said this to those who were affected. To compensate users for any losses that may have occurred while trading the ETH down during this period, Binance will be taking the following actions. All verified losses incurred by users trading the token will be covered by Binance. To claim a loss, affected users can email Binance with the following details: email address of the affected Binance account, time period of affected trade, total loss incurred, and finally, each email submission will be reviewed and verified within 48 hours from the time of receipt. But here's the thing, if we go back to their announcement of the token, they say this: please ensure you have fully read the Binance Leveraged Tokens Risk Disclosure Statement prior to trading or participating in any Binance Leveraged Tokens products, and fully understand the risks associated with leveraged tokens. As a trader, you acknowledge acknowledge and agree that you shall access and use Binance Leverage tokens at your own risk. And diving into the actual risk disclosure statement, it says this: you should fully understand the risks associated with Binance Leverage tokens and be solely responsible and liable for any and all trading and non-trading activity on your Binance account. Do not enter into a transaction or invest using funds that are beyond your financial means. Then at the bottom it says this: due to the nature of the Binance Leverage token's centralized creation and market liquidity, Binance strives to provide adequate market liquidity and to make Binance Leverage tokens available at a fair price. Binance shall take reasonable steps, including but not limited to capital injection, additional tokens creation, and selling tokens in the secondary market to minimize the risks mentioned above. Yikes is all I have to say, and due to the nature of their disclosure, I would love to see a confirmation that anyone was refunded, and this wasn't just a PR play by them. I will be looking for refund evidence. As you said, within 48 hours, each email claim will be reviewed and verified. So my friends, besides that, things are getting pretty scary for Binance as they put their eggs in the basket of competing with Ethereum through the creation of Binance Chain. They could have built an Ethereum DEX, they could have maybe even bought Uniswap, but they tried to compete. Bad move. Just look at this article titled "Uniswap records more trading volume than Gemini, Poloniex, and Binance US combined." And it gets that point across. It is dominating the US-based centralized exchanges. In the article it states, according to Dune Analytics, the trading volume of decentralized exchanges is up 300% compared to the volume at centralized exchanges. Over the last 24 hours, DEXs recorded a volume of 240 million and 1.77 billion over the last 7 days. Now, a majority of that crazy 24-hour volume is Uniswap actually. Over half, 123 million of it was Uniswap. So let's compare it with Binance US, their centralized US version exchange. They did about 34 million, or just about 27% of Uniswap's. How about Uniswap's closest competitor for Binance? The Binance DEX ran on the Binance chain, just a measly 600K, or just 4.8% of what Uniswap is doing. Now, if you know anything about the Binance DEX and chain, it was first announced in December of 2018. Months went by and Binance was quiet about it. And then in April of 2019, it came out with a vengeance. They announced a mainnet, and then within a week, they announced a Binance DEX would be launching on it too. So looking at the price chart of BNB, the exchange token, of course, insiders knew about the chain and DEX, and the token started to really bubble in March. But then the news got it up to $25 freaking in April, and then all the way up to nearly $40 by June, as they were still dropping big news about the chain, like a BTC peg token coming. Well, since that peak, Binance has been getting crushed down like Charlie Brown, 50% still from the peak, while other altcoins are surging and passing their peak levels. I'm telling you guys, the big run up in BNB was due to the DEX and chain announcement. It's obvious, and it's been a failure, and that is exactly why the price is where it is today and not past its June levels like other coins, Chainlink for example. As in the same time frame, Chainlink went from 45 cents to its July 2019 peak of nearly $4. Since it has crushed that level and now is above $8.50. So will the Nants swallow their pride and stop their attacks against Ethereum, its holders, and its traders on their exchange? Or are they going to continue down CZ's warpath of trying to take the crypto markets and full control for himself? Well, they kind of actually already did. In April of this year, Binance announced they were in the process of creating a second chain, a smart chain. I wonder how it will function. From the blog post, the Binance Smart Chain will retain the high performance of the native blockchain while supporting an intuitive version of smart contract functionality. At the same time, this innovative solution brings the interoperability and programmability of the Ethereum virtual machine to the Binance chain. This dual chain architecture will empower its users to build their decentralized applications and digital assets on one blockchain and take advantage of the fast trading to exchange on the other. So ERC20 digital assets, a bridge for interoperability. No, not quite. So you guys know about the Swipe acquisition by Binance. I'm sure it took a literal dead in the water coin and surged it as the face of Binance and DeFi. Well, Swipe, they put out a blog post just a few days ago on this DeFi and smart contract ability coming to the Binance Smart Chain. In the post, it states, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other assets are already wrapped and issued on Binance Chain and are verifiable on their native blockchains for cross-compatibility, which will give exposure to use these assets for supplying and borrowing from SwipeFi. Therefore, the base layer of the collateral needed to start a project of this magnitude already exists. So no, nothing new is being built right now. They're using what has already failed. Bitcoin is on the Binance chain, but no one freaking uses it. Bitcoin BEP2, which has a laughable just over 12K in trading volume on the Binance DEX, meaning no one is freaking using it. But going to their chain documentation, we can see how Binance is beginning to bow. They explain how token transfers work, and there are two main ways. With hash time lock contracts, which if you know anything about those, another platform they got these from is Ripple, and from their Interledger documentation, they call them hash time lock agreements. But as we know from yesterday's video, Interledger is building another bridge as they failed at the first one, and they're building Bifrost. They're sponsoring Ethereum hackathons. They know the value of Ethereum and its DeFi, and they want it for themselves. That is why a second attempt is coming. Well, if those hash time lock agreements, whatever contracts you want to call them, are not going to work for Ripple, they're not going to work for Binance Chain. So you need a second option. As we can see from their documentation, their second solution is a smart contract solution that supports atomic peg swaps for Ethereum. And they say, please note, this solution is already being audited by a third party. Wowzers, so it's gotta be built and it's gotta be ready, correct? Well, going to the GitHub for it, it says this repository includes some atomic swap contracts which are described in BEP3. Currently, only Ethereum smart contract is implemented. Later, more blockchain platforms will be implemented. But as we can see, the last work on it was performed almost a year ago. So now do you get it? Their original Binance chain is a gosh dang failure. It can't do Jack McSquooty Booty. So they are building another chain, saying it will run in parallel, which is just code word for this one, the one we built originally is junk, and we're dropping it for a new one, which absolutely bends the knee to Ethereum. So in my opinion, they are just waiting to copy, but in the rapid developing space of crypto, that is a failed plan, as by the time you are ready, you will already be behind, and Ethereum 2.0 and Polkadot might be running full steam ahead. Cheers, viewers. I'll see you next time.